Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Let's get started with this test. And we've got all 40 questions which we are going to solve. Please listen to me. And you have to observe mainly three things. Number one, how I read the question. Okay. Number two, when I read the question and underline certain words, you got to do it. And the second point is how to listen to the audio and see when the answer is coming. And the third important thing is how to write your answer with correct spelling. Remember, on the question booklet, you can write your answer however you want. Capital, small. If you write a wrong answer, cross it, write it again. Okay, it's only for paper delivered IELTS. Okay, so once you complete your listening test, they will give you 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. There you have to write your answers neatly using all capital letters. You may use small letters also. All capital, all small, first capital, rest small. It's always correct. But the thing is, whatever you write, spelling must be correct. You should have the right spelling of your answer. Okay. So we will go through this test. Part 1 is easy peasy. Then there is part 2, a little difficult. Part 3, more difficult. And then part 4. Part 1 and part 2, they are social, dialogues and all these things. Part 3 and part 4, they are actually educational. So there we will discuss something related to education. So let's get started. Section 1, complete the notes below. Question type is notes completion. Write one word and or a number for each answer. So it's one word and or a number. Answer can be 2 boys. Answer can be boys. Answer can be 2. These are 3 combinations. Next, South City Cycling Club. Now, there is a cycling club, right? I mean, you may have seen somewhere on the roads, 10 to 15 cyclists are going and all that. That is called cycling club. Example is given Jim Hunter. Jim Hunter is the name. So in the audio, when they talk about Jim Hunter, just listen to it in a relaxed way. Next is membership. When they talk about membership, full membership costs $260. In the audio, when they say full membership, $260, you have to be alert because now your answer is about to come. So there are 2 ways of listening to IELTS audio. One is casually and one is extremely carefully. When your answer part is about to come, then you will listen extremely carefully because for 25 minutes, you cannot listen to all the audio extremely carefully. You just need to listen to those 40 sentences which are related to your questions. Okay. Now, they say $260 membership. This covers, what do they mean by this? Membership. So the words like this, that, these, those, these words are very common. Such, okay, such memberships. Such memberships means this membership. This covers cycling and dash. Now this membership covers 2 things. One is cycling, second is dash. So maybe cycling and breakfast. In the morning when they go, they have breakfast. Cycling and coffee. Cycling and something. Okay. Now for and, they use several words. They will not use the words and. They may use the word also. Okay. They will say not only cycling, but also. Now, whatever they say after but also, or whatever they say with cycling, after $260, that will be your answer. Okay, so basically it's one word and or a number. South City Cycling Club, membership, full membership costs $260. This covers cycling and. For and, they may use the word also. And now we listen to it.
Hello, South City Cycling Club.
Oh, hi. I want to find out about joining the club.
Right, I can help you there. I'm the club secretary and my name's Jim Hunter.
Oh, hi, Jim.
So, are you interested in membership for yourself?
That's right.
Okay, well, there are basically 2 types of adult membership. If you're pretty serious about cycling, there's the full membership. That costs $260. And that covers you not just for ordinary cycling, but also for races, both here in the city and also in other parts of Australia.
Okay, not only cycling but also races. So you will write the word races. Okay, don't write racing, race, or any other thing. Correct answer is races. RACES. Well done. That's a good start. Okay, then the audio will continue. When they speak the word $108, you know audio is there. This is called tracking the audio. After that, when they say cost of membership, that is recreational membership, okay? $108. Cost of membership includes the club fee and dash. Now again, there is the word and. So this time they may not use the word also. They can use, for example, it includes the club fee and they will also provide dash. And they will also provide dash, it will be the answer. Okay, like this they play. Now, club fee, I mean $108, it is club fee and whatever they offer with that.
Now, both types of membership include the club fee of $20. They also provide insurance in case you have an accident, though we hope you won't need that, of course.
Okay. They also provide insurance. So correct answer is समझ आ रही है? Okay, that's good. Insurance will be the right answer. Why don't you put your things here? इस टेबल पे आसान होगा वरना टेढ़ा बैठना मुश्किल होगा. Okay. So okay, if you're comfortable, that's okay. Insurance will be the right answer. Okay. Now we go on. The club kit. Now remember, cycling club, they have a club kit. Club kit may include water bottle, helmet, gloves, something they have here, guards and all that. Okay, on their knees also. So the club kit is made by a company called, very simple. Answer will be the name of company. For example, for sports goods, we've got Nike, Adidas and all that. So if there is the company and the name is unusual, remember in IELTS, whenever they use any unusual name, they spell it for you. They will just tell you the spelling and you will write it. And they have written the word called. For called, they just use the word, I've seen this in reading also. Called, known, it is called as, it is known as, the name of the company is, and all that. So let's go on with question number 3.
Well, I'll go with the recreational membership, I think. And that allows me to join in the club activities and so on?
That's right. And once you're a member of the club, you're also permitted to wear our kit when you're out cycling. It's green and white.
Yes, I've seen cyclists wearing it. So can I buy that at the club?
No, it's made to order by a company in Brisbane. You can find them online. They're called Jerry's. That's JERRIZ. You can use your membership number to put in an order on their website.
Okay.
Okay, so No. In British English, is very soft. So they say ja. Okay, so it's basically double R. And R is very soft in British English. And one more thing, when they read the word Jerry's, now from Jerry's, you understand it's going to be R. And then they said JERR. You can write the spelling as JE Almadda 2 times. And then IZ. So what's the right spelling? JERRIZ. Okay, and you know they use the word, it's made to order. Improve your English from IELTS listening. It's made to order. As we say, order pe tayar hoti hai. It's made to order. So it's something new. So if you focus what you are listening, you can pick up several sentences from IELTS listening, and when you use them in your speaking module, your band will go up. Okay. Now, training rides. Imagine cycling club and they have their training rides. Chance to improve cycling skill and all that. Level B. Now, when they speak about level B, then you will be alert. If they talk about level A, don't worry about that. Don't listen to it carefully. If they talk about level C, don't worry about that because there is no question about level A and level C. Level B, speed about dash kph. What is kph? Kilometer per hour. Yes, not Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, okay? It's kilometer per hour, exactly. Now, they will tell us the speed. Now, listen. They will tell you the speed of level A. Will that be your answer? They will tell you the speed of level C. Will that be your answer? No, the speed of level B will be your answer, and answer is going to be a number. And by the way, keep in mind it's a bicycle. You cannot write 120. Bicycle cannot just go 120 or 300 and all that, okay? So please listen.
Now, can you tell me a bit about the rides I can do?
Sure. So we have training rides pretty well every morning, and they're a really good way of improving your cycling skills as well as your general level of fitness. But they're different levels. Level A is pretty fast. You're looking at about 30 or 35 kilometres an hour. If you can do about 25 kilometres an hour, you'd probably be level B. And then level C are the novices who stay at about 15 kilometres per hour.
Okay, so right answer is? 25? No. Yeah. Huh? No, someone else was telling me. Huh? Excellent, that's good. No one has written wrong answer. Good. That's my way of checking. You know, the one who has written the wrong answer, when I said 25, yeah, I have the right answer, and that is the wrong answer, okay? Well done, very good. So you will write 25 as 2 and 5, that's it. Let's go on. Weekly sessions, Tuesday at 5:30 a.m. Now they have a session on Tuesday, 5:30 a.m. Meet at the means location. Right? My son goes for cycling club. They meet every Sunday, Liberty Roundabout. Early morning, 5 a.m. Okay? So in Lahore also we have a cycling club. So meet at the, and then there is going to be that location. So you need to see what location is that.
So when are the sessions for that level?
There are a couple each week. They're both early morning sessions. There's one on Tuesdays, and for that one you meet at 5:30 a.m. and the meeting point's the stadium. Do you know where that is?
Yes, it's quite near my home, in fact.
Okay, meeting point is the stadium. So will you write stadium or the stadium? Stadium. In IELTS, listening and reading, never write article and the. Because of one word only, if you write the stadium, and the is already written by the way, your answer will be wrong. And how do you spell stadium? D-I-U-M. Well done. Question number 6, Thursdays at 5:30 a.m. Now what are they going to do on Thursday at 5:30 a.m.? Meet at the entrance to the, I tell you a hack. Whenever they use the word entrance, for that they use the word gate. Main gate. For example, if I say entrance to the museum, main gate of the museum, entrance, gate, main gate, and all that. Okay, so let's see, Thursday 5:30 and entrance to what?
Okay, and how about the other one?
That's on Thursdays. It starts at the same time, but they meet at the main gate to the park.
Is that the one just past the shopping mall?
That's it.
Okay, park, shopping mall. Yeah, shopping mall. Yeah, park. And by the way, shopping mall, how many words? 2 words. It cannot be the answer. Be logical. So they use the word main gate to the park. So main gate to the park means entrance to the park. Okay, let's go on. Further information. Rides are about an hour. Members often have dash together afterwards. Members often have dash. Now the cycling club, I know members often have breakfast afterwards. Okay, jitna bhi cycling kiya sab zaya. Lassi and chanas and naan and all that. Okay, members often have something. Now what is it that members have after that?
So how long are the rides?
They're about an hour and a half, so if you have a job, it's easy to fit in before you go to work. And the members often go somewhere for coffee afterwards, so it's quite a social event.
Okay, members go somewhere for coffee. Now they did not say members often have. Members go somewhere for coffee afterwards. So it's a quite social event. Answer is coffee. C-O-F-F-E. Well done. Question number 8. There is not always. Now just underline the word not always a dash with the group on these rides. So not always. For that they can use the word it is not necessary to have a, or there is no dash, okay, or it is without. For not they also use the word without. Okay, like the other days we were doing a test. They said no fuel, without the need for fuel, it doesn't need fuel, and all that.
And does each ride have a leader?
Sometimes, but not always. But you don't really need one.
Okay, does each ride have a leader? Sometimes, but not always. What does it mean? There is not always a leader. Exactly. Please listen again.
And does each ride have a leader?
Sometimes, but not always.
Okay, so sometimes, but not always. And then they say,
but you don't really need one.
You don't really need one. What do they mean by one? Leader. Thank God you didn't say ek. Alright? Like we say someone. Someone told me. Okay? So the one you are talking about is a very clever person. For example, you talked about someone and I say the one you are talking about is a very clever person. So you don't need one. You don't need one means there is not always a leader. For leader they use the word one. This, that, these, those, one, and all that. So whenever answer comes, they always do it. Question number 9, check and print the dash on the website beforehand. Now what is it that you need to check and print from the website? Let's see. It may be a document.
How would we know where to go?
If you check the club website, you'll see that the route for each ride is clearly marked. So you can just print that out and take it along with you.
Okay, you can just print that out and take it along with you. What is the answer? Route, absolutely. And for that they use the word you can print that out, that for route, and take it along, it for route. Print that out and take it along. So now that and it, they are referencing words. Okay, whenever there is the answer, I told you before, they use referencing words, that, one, and all that. Okay, let's go on. Next we have question number 10. Bikes must have. Bikes must have. Now something that the bikes must have. For example, bike, if we talk about our bikes, bikes must have brakes. Okay, that's something we need to have. Or bikes must have something. So what is it that the bikes must have? Now they will not use the word must, but they will talk it in such a way that we understand that bikes should have something.
And what do I need to bring?
Well, bring a bottle of water and your phone. You shouldn't use it while you're cycling, but have it with you.
Right.
Okay. No, there is no answer. Right? You need to understand that. He said you should bring a bottle of water. You should. It's not for the bike. Okay, now bike, there must be something else which should be the part of bike. This is what you should have. You cannot say bikes must have water bottle or anything like that. So please listen again.
And what do I need to bring?
Well, bring a bottle of water and your phone. You shouldn't use it while you're cycling, but have it with you.
Right.
And in winter, it's well before sunrise when we set out. So you need to make sure your bike's got lights.
That's okay.
Okay, you need to make sure your bike's got lights. So answer is lights. L-I-T-G-H-T-E-S. Well done. Correct answer for that is lights. Please listen to this again.
And what do I need to bring?
Well, bring a bottle of water and your phone. You shouldn't use it while you're cycling, but have it with you.
Right.
And in winter, it's well before sunrise when we set out. So you need to make sure your bike's got lights.
Okay.
That's okay.
So it's before sunrise when we set out. So make sure your bike's got lights. So answer is lights. All right, now we go on. Questions 11 onwards. Remember, in IELTS listening part 2, there is an audio commentary on any social situation. It can be the commentary of a museum or a national park or anything like that. So there is an audio commentary in part 2 and one person talks. And one more thing, the context of the conversation or the talk is basically social. Part 1 is social. We are talking about bicycle club and all that. So part 2 is also social. Information on company volunteering projects. Now imagine there is a company and they have their volunteering projects, so they are going to talk about that. You know, volunteering and all that. In IELTS, volunteering is very, very common. They have several topics on volunteering. So there is a company, volunteers are those who work for the goodness of society and people without any monetary benefits or monetary gains. So question number 11, how much time for volunteering does company allow? See, there are some multinational companies and they allow you to go for volunteering. Now, company allows, it means company will pay. For example, if you go for volunteering for 1 week, company will pay you for 1 week. Okay. So how much time does the company allow per employee for volunteering? Okay. Option A, 2 hours per week. Right. If they say the company will pay for 2 hours per week, like that. Option B, 1 day per month. Like in a month, 1 day you can go for volunteering and company will give you salary of that day. Option C, 8 hours per week. Okay, now in multiple choice questions, important thing is not to find the right answer. Most important thing is to locate and eliminate the wrong answer. Once you locate the wrong answer and you eliminate one wrong answer, now you are left with 2 choices. And if you eliminate 2 wrong answers, you will be left with the right answer. Sometimes right answer is confusing. So if you eliminate 1 or 2 options, you can easily reach the right option. So 2 ways you are going to do it. Number 1, you are going to listen for the right answer. And at the same time, number 2, you are going to eliminate the wrong options. And by the way, they will discuss all these options in any order. They will not discuss them like A, B, C. And this is very confusing. Right? But anyways, let's do it.
Thanks for coming, everyone. Okay, so this meeting is for new staff and staff who haven't been involved with our volunteering projects yet. So basically, the idea is that we allow staff to give up some of their work time to help on various charity projects to benefit the local community. We've been doing this for the last 5 years, and it's been very successful. Participating doesn't necessarily involve a huge time commitment. The company will pay for 8 hours of your time. That can be used over 1 or 2 days all at once, or spread over several months throughout the year. There are some staff who enjoy volunteering so much, they also give up their own free time for a couple of hours every week. It's completely up to you. Obviously, many people will have family commitments and aren't as available as other members of staff.
All right. So, C, no. A, well done. A is the wrong answer. Correct answer is C. Company will pay for 8 hours of your time. And then he said, you can spread that time 2 hours per week, or you can spread it over the month, but company will pay for 8 hours of your time. Please listen to this point.
Thanks for coming, everyone. The idea is that we allow staff to give up some of their work time to help on various charity projects to benefit the local community. We've been doing this for the last 5 years, and it's been very successful. Participating doesn't necessarily involve a huge time commitment. The company will pay for 8 hours of your time.
The company will pay for 8 hours of your time. What does it mean? Company allows. Allows means they will pay, right? So 8 hours of your time. Now, what is confusing part?
That can be used over 1 or 2 days all at once.
Okay, it can be used over 1 or 2 days or all at once. For example, 8 hours, 4 hours today, 4 hours tomorrow, something like that, or all at once.
Or spread over several months.
Or spread over several months. Like 2 hours per month. Next month, 2 more hours. And in 4 months, you can have 8 hours complete, right? So correct answer is option C, 8 hours per year. Let's go on. Question number 12. In feedback, almost all employees said, now they had a feedback. In the feedback, all employees said. Now, what all employees said, underline the word all employees. Now, what all employees said will be your answer. What some employees said, what one or two employees said, that will be a trap for you. Okay. So, in feedback, almost all employees said volunteering improved. Now, what is it that volunteering improved? You may underline all employees and volunteering improved. Chances of promotion, job satisfaction, relationship with colleagues. And by the way, they will not use exactly the same word. Chances of promotion, for that they can use any other word. You can make career advancements. Then job satisfaction, they are very happy with their work. Relationship with colleagues, they enjoyed good relations with other co-workers. Okay, now let's see. Again, I'm telling you the most important point is what all employees said. For that, they will say nearly everybody said, almost everybody said. Okay, there will be your answer. Without that, it will not be your answer.
And what do
Feedback from staff has been overwhelmingly positive. Because they felt they were doing something really useful, nearly everyone agreed that volunteering made them feel more motivated at work. They also liked building relationships with the people in the local community and felt valued by them. One or two people also said it was a good thing to have on their CVs.
One or two people said it was a good thing to have on their CVs. So, correct answer is C. Well done. Anyone else? A. Excellent. Correct answer is B.
Feedback from staff has been overwhelmingly positive. Because they felt they were doing something really useful, nearly everyone agreed.
Nearly everyone agreed. Almost all employees said. Okay, mark them. They are synonyms. Nearly all employees said and nearly everyone agreed. Now listen next.
That volunteering made them feel more motivated at work.
Okay, volunteering made them feel more motivated at work. Now, more motivated means job satisfaction. When you are more motivated at your work, you are satisfied with your job. This is how you need to interpret ideas in listening part 2 and part 3. Okay, part 1 is straightforward. They will say a word, you will write it down. But in part 2, you need to interpret that. So, correct answer is job satisfaction, but you will write B on your answer sheet. Question number 13, last year. Now, last year is past tense. Last year, some staff helped unemployed people with their. Okay, now what can be a trap? Trap is this year. Trap is next year. So, whatever they are planning to do this year or next year, that will be a trap. Okay, last year, some staff helped unemployed people with their literacy skill. Literacy skill means they taught them how to read and write. Okay, option B, job application. They taught them how to write a CV for a job. And again, last year. Okay, connect all these things with last year. Otherwise, if you only listen for words, in the audio they will say job application. You say job application B. If you pick up your answer from the words only, your answer will always be wrong. But if you pick up your answer after listening to the ideas, then it will be right. And option C, communication skills. What can be the rewording of communication skills? For example, they taught them how to deliver presentations. They taught them how to attend telephonic calls. Okay, for example, they say they taught them how to note down the messages, how to send and receive emails, how to communicate and all that. Now, please listen, and again, I'm telling you last year, past tense. Focus that.
One particularly successful project last year was the Get Working project. This was aimed at helping unemployed people in the area get back to work. Our staff were able to help them improve their telephone skills, such as writing down messages and speaking with confidence to potential customers, which they had found quite difficult. This is something many employers look for in job applicants, and something we all do without even thinking about every day at work.
So, C, why not B? They use the word job applicants. They did not use the word job applications. Okay, correct answer is C, communication skills. Okay, now I just tell you why.
One particularly successful project last year was the Get Working project. This was aimed at helping unemployed people in the area get back to work. Our staff were able to help them improve their telephone skills.
Our staff was able to help them improve their telephone skills. Telephone skills means how to attend a call, take a message and all that. That is part of communication.
Such as writing down messages and speaking with confidence to
Okay, writing down messages, speaking with confidence, all these things come under the umbrella of communication skills.
potential customers, which they had found quite difficult. This is something many employers look for in job applicants.
This is many employers look for in job applicants. Job applicant is someone who applies for a job. But over here they have written job applications. Application is a piece of paper. Applicant is a person who applies for a job. So it's not B.
And something we all do without even thinking about every day at work.
Okay, they did not discuss option A. Question number 14. This year, which tense? Present or future? For example, say this year I will go to. This year I'm planning to do this. Okay, so this year the company will start a new volunteering project with a local school, park, charity. Now I tell you, they will say last year we had a very successful project with school. Will that be the answer? No. And probably after a couple of years we are looking into the possibility to work with local park. After a couple of years, will that be the answer? No. The answer is this year we are going to do that. So whatever they are going to do this year will be your answer.
We've got an exciting new project starting this year. Up until now, we've mainly focused on projects to do with education and training. And we'll continue with our reading project in schools and our work with local charities. But we've also agreed to help out on a conservation project in Redfern Park. So if any of you fancy being outside and getting your hands dirty, this is the project for you.
Okay. Park. That's right. B. And they said we will continue. Continue means they started in the past and they will go on with that. Please listen for
We've got an
clarity.
exciting new project starting this year. Up until now, we've mainly focused on projects to do with education and training.
Okay, up until now, right?
And we'll continue with our reading project in schools.
We will continue with our reading projects in schools. We will continue means they already did that and they're doing it.
And our work with local charities.
And our work with local charities. Now, schools and local charities, we will continue. When they are gone, only one option is left.
But we've also agreed to help out on a conservation project in Redfern Park.
Okay, we have agreed. We have agreed means now this year the company will start Redfern Park. So it's basically option B. Question number 15. Where will Digital Inclusion Day be held? Now, if you don't know the meaning of Digital Inclusion Day, no worries. It's just an event. Now, location of event. What is going to be the location? Option A, company's training facility. Option B, college. Option C, community center. Now, what can be a trap? Trap is last year we did it at the college and there were more people, so we couldn't manage it properly. That is why this year we are going to do it. Then they will talk about that, right? Or if they say, we wanted to do it in the community center, but the community center is already booked on that day. Therefore, we will do it at the college. College will be the answer, okay? Again, where will the Digital Inclusion Day be held? Future tense. If they say last year it was held, or they wanted to do it somewhere, but that place was booked, that will be your trap. So, here we are.
I also wanted to mention the annual Digital Inclusion Day, which is coming up next month. The aim of this is to help older people keep up with technology. And this year, instead of hosting the event in our own training facility, we're using the ICT suite at Hill College, as it can hold far more people.
Okay, instead of doing at our company's training facility, we are doing it at ICT college that can hold far more people. So answer is B. That's right. Good job. Question number 16. What should staff do if they want to take part in Digital Inclusion Day? Now, for example, you are working for a company and your company is arranging Digital Inclusion Day. If you want to participate, what is it that you need to do? Fill in a form. Fill in a form means it's company's website and you will fill in a form. Attend a training workshop, like there is a training workshop which you will have to attend. Get permission from manager. So out of three things, if you are an employee of the company and you want to participate, what do you need to do?
We've invited over 60 people from the Silver Age Community Center to take part, so we'll need a lot of volunteers to help with this event. If you're interested in taking part, please go to the volunteering section of our website and complete the relevant form. We won't be providing any training for this, but you'll be paired with an experienced volunteer if you've never done it before. By the way, don't forget to tell your manager about any volunteering activities you decide to do.
See, so confusing. They discussed all three options. A, no. C, yes. Okay, I tell you, listen, if I say, don't forget to tell your parents, and if I say, don't forget to take permission from your parents, are they same? No. No. Don't confuse it. It's not about staff. Okay. They said, don't forget to tell your manager. And option C is get permission from manager. Now, telling manager and getting permission from manager, both are two different things. For example, you say, hey mom, I'm going to England, for example. And second, mom, may I go to England? May I go to England is permission. I'm going to England is you're just telling, right? So it's not option C. Correct answer is option A. Yes. I play it again.
We've invited over 60 people from the Silver Age Community Center to take part, so we'll need a lot of volunteers to help with this event. If you're interested in taking part, please go to the volunteering section of our website and complete the relevant form.
Please go to our website and complete the relevant form. That is option A. Fill in a form. Go to our website and fill in a form. Option B.
We won't be providing any training.
We won't be providing any training. What is won't? Will not. You should know that. Some people think we won't be. Want, W-A-N-T, want. That is want. And after that we use to. For example, we want to provide training. What does it mean? We want to do it. We won't provide training. We won't. After W-O-N apostrophe T, won't, we don't use to. So we won't provide any training means we will not provide any training. So training is gone.
This. But you'll be paired with an experienced volunteer if you've never done it before. By the way, don't forget to tell your manager about any...
Okay, by the way, don't forget to tell your manager. Now, not get permission from manager, tell your manager, okay? Okay, now we have double multiple choice questions and you must be thinking, sir, single nahi ho rahe, ab double ki baat kar rahe hain. Okay, we'll do that. Don't worry. Gradually you'll be fine, okay? Questions 17 and 18, choose two letters A to E. Now, out of 5, 2 options are correct. You will select them and 3 options are wrong. You have to eliminate them. What 2 things are mentioned about participants in last Digital Inclusion Day? Underline 2 things mentioned participants last Digital Inclusion Day. Now, if they say this year we will do this, that is a trap. If they say next year we will do that, that is a trap. So you will focus last and past, 2 things, okay? So participant and subject is participants. 2 things will match and 3 things will not match. Like, you know, out of 5, 2 options are true, 3 options are false according to the audio, right? So let's see. Option A, all over 70. Underline all over 70. All over. Now this word all is very dangerous. Why? If they say most of them were over 70, but some were in their 60s and 50s, will it be the answer? No. This is what you need to check. Okay? Option B, never use their computer. Never used computer. Underline that. Never used computer. Now, if they say most of them were not familiar with computer, but some of them knew the basics of computer. Now, if they say, some of them, so it is not going to be this one. Option C, phones were mostly old-fashioned. If they say they had non-Android phones or their phones were old or they had the buttoned mobiles and all that, then it can be option C. Only use their phones for making calls. Now, if they only use their phones for making calls, this will be the right answer. And if they say they mainly use their phones to make calls and send messages, will this be the right answer? No. See that how technical it is? But the good thing is you are learning. You are learning all these tactics. Option E, initially showed little interest. For example, in the beginning, they were not willing to learn. Initially, they showed no interest. In the beginning, they were not interested or they were not keen on learning. So if they say this, it can be the right answer. And if they say from the very beginning, they were very interested to learn about all these things, then this will not be the answer. So it's more like true, false. So let's see. And the good news is they will talk about all the options in order, only here. Otherwise, they don't use that, okay? So question number 17 and 18, and you will choose 2 letters. And out of 2, if one is correct, you will get 1 mark for that. And if both are correct, you will get 2 marks.
The participants on the Digital Inclusion Day really benefited. The majority were in their 70s, though some were younger, and a few were even in their 90s. Quite a few owned both a computer and a mobile phone, but these tended to be outdated models. They generally knew how to do simple things like send texts, but weren't aware of recent developments in mobile phone technology. A few were keen to learn, but most were quite dismissive at first. They couldn't see the point of updating their skills. But that soon changed.
Okay, so they discussed all the points. Now what are the right answers? B and E. C and E. Anyone else? C and D. E. Okay. Thank God nobody said F, because we don't have that option here. Okay? All right. Correct answers are option C for cat, E for elephant. And now I play it again. Don't worry. I'll just tell you. Again, focus, wrong answers, and you will find the right answer.
The participants on the Digital Inclusion Day really benefited. The majority were in their 70s, though some were younger.
Majority were in their 70s. Majority. Now, majority does not mean all. All and majority, they are opposite words. So they said some were younger and some were in their 90s. So that is why A is not the right answer. Now come to B.
And a few were even in their 90s. Quite a few owned both a computer and a mobile phone.
Quite a few owned both a computer and mobile phone. Quite a few owned. They never used computer. They owned computer and mobile phone. It means they use them. When you say when you have a phone or computer, most definitely you've used it, right? So B is not the right answer.
But these tended to be outdated models.
These tended to be outdated models. Again, the same trick they are applying. These means computer and mobile phones. Outdated models. Outdated means old-fashioned. So correct answer is C. They did not use the word their phone. They used the word they, these. These tended to be outdated models. And this happens every time. Okay. So correct answer is C. Now, let's move on.
They generally knew how to do simple things like send texts, but
They generally knew simple things like send text. So they only use their phones for making calls? No. Send texts. So D is the wrong answer.
Weren't aware of recent developments in mobile phone technology. A few were keen to learn, but most were quite dismissive at first.
A few were keen to learn, but most were quite dismissive. Okay? They initially showed little interest. Yes. Few were keen to learn. Most were quite dismissive. Dismissive means, why are you teaching me this? Right? In this class, a couple of students are dismissive now. I don't want to point out, but anyways, okay? So dismissive means, oh, मैं तो आइल्स करना ही नहीं चाहती, मेरे हस्बैंड छोड़ जाते हैं यहाँ पे. कोई बच्चा कहे मैं तो आइल्स करना नहीं चाहता, अम्मी अब्बू कह रहे हैं, अंकल कह रहे हैं. Yeah. So anyways, so E is the right answer. Now you can write your answers in any order. Question number 17, 18. 17C, 18E, that is better. Or otherwise 17E, 18C. But I would advise you to write in the same order, C and E. Not the order that they have in the audio. For example, correct answer is AB. You write 17A, 18B. That's it. Questions at 19 and 20. Choose two letters A to E. What two activities on last Digital Inclusion Day, Satyanas ho jaye, khatam hi nahi ho raha Digital Inclusion Day, did participants describe as useful? Now please underline two activities useful, and you know Digital Inclusion Day already. Two activities useful. Now out of 5 activities, 3 activities will be termed as wasn't great or it wasn't that. For example, learning to use tablets, right? For example, say, well, most of them did not have tablets, so it was of no use to them, means useless. Communicating with family, you have to say, well, they didn't have a family, so it did not, or they did not use this mod to communicate with their family, so it was of no use. So when something was useless, it will not be the answer. Shopping online, playing online games, sending emails. Now out of 5, 2 activities useful. Okay, let's see.
The feedback was very positive. The really encouraging thing was that participants all said they felt much more confident about using social media to keep in touch with their grandchildren, who prefer this form of communication to phoning or sending emails. A lot of them also said playing online games would help them make new friends and keep their brains active. They weren't that impressed with being able to order their groceries online, as they liked going out to the shops, but some said it would come in handy if they were ill or the weather was really bad. One thing they asked about was using tablets for things like reading newspapers. Some people had been given tablets as presents, but had never used them. So that's something we'll make sure we include this time.
Okay, A, B tablets, yeah. He said that's something we will include this time. So A is not the right answer. About tablets, they did not include. They said some people had tablets, but they never used them. So this time we'll make sure we'll add them. Okay, correct answer is B for boy, D for doctor. Okay, B and D are correct answers. If out of 2 you have one right answer, you will get 1 mark. Now please listen to this again.
The feedback was very positive. The really encouraging thing was that participants all said they felt much more confident about using social media to keep in touch with their grandchildren, who
Okay, using social media to keep in touch with their grandchildren. Grandchildren means family. Okay, so using social media means communicating with family. First correct answer is option B.
prefer this form of communication to phoning or sending emails.
Okay, they preferred this mode of communication to phoning or sending emails. So sending emails crossed because they preferred using social media to communicate with their grandchildren. Okay, let's go on.
A lot of them also said playing online games would help them make new friends and
Playing online games will help them make new friends. Now tell me, useful or useless? Useful. They did not choose the word useful. Okay, playing online games will help them make new friends
keep their brains active.
and keep their brains active. So they did not choose the word useful, but they talked about it in a way that it is useful, right? Okay, let's go on. Okay, planning a presentation on nanotechnology. Okay, yeah, not nanotechnology. Now there will be 2 students who are going to discuss about their presentation, and the topic of the presentation is nanotechnology. This part of IELTS listening is academic. Part 1 and 2, they were social. Part 3 and part 4, they are academic. And part 3 is really a bit, confusing, because there are 2 or sometimes 3 speakers. They are talking. right? So audio can be a little fluent, and ideas are based on science, technology, research. Now, nanotechnology. I mean, most of us don't know about nanotechnology, but don't worry. This is going to be a sort of lesson in a way that anyone who does not have prior knowledge on nanotechnology can understand that. They make sure about these things, okay? So, question number 21, Russ. You know Russ biscuit, Russ Papa? Yeah, exactly. Russ says that his difficulty, underline, Russ says his difficulty in planning the presentation is due to, underline, due to. Now, what is the reason for his difficulty? I mean, for example, and you need to visualize. Russ is a student, okay, not biscuit. Russ is a student who is having difficulty planning his presentation. Now, what is the reason? There are three possible reasons. Two things he will say, that is not my difficulty. That is not difficult for me. But one will be the right answer. Option A, underline lack of knowledge. Now, if in the audio he says, I know a lot about this topic, then A will not be the answer. If he says, I know a little about this topic, then it can be the right answer. And if he says, initially, I did not know anything about this topic, but then I read several books and now I know everything, what will be the answer? Not A. Because A is lack of knowledge. He can say, initially I had lack of knowledge, but then I learned about it. Option B, uncertainty about what he should try to achieve. Underline the word uncertainty. And I have seen this word. I mean, this is examiners, one of the question making criterias, right? Now I'm reaching that. Uncertainty. Whenever they show uncertainty in IELTS listening, IELTS reading, they will say, I'm not sure what to do. Or they say, for example, if I say, I don't know whether I should go to Islamabad or Karachi. What does it mean? Uncertainty. Unsure. I'm not sure whether I should drink tea or coffee. What is that? Uncertainty. Or I'm not clear about what I'm going to do here. So that is uncertainty. Okay. So whenever they use the word uncertainty, they use whether. Okay. Whether I should go to Lahore or Islamabad, or I am unsure. I don't know whether I should do this or that. And there are always 2 to 3 options. Option C, short time. Short time for preparation. If he says, my presentation is day after tomorrow and I have only 2 days. And if he says, well, I've got enough time, then it is not the right answer. Now, have you noticed one thing? Options are long, but in option A, we only focused lack of knowledge. In option B, we only focused uncertainty. In option C, short time. So this is how you need to cut the options short, right?
Come in, Russ.
Thank you.
Now, you wanted to consult me about your class presentation on nanotechnology. You were due to give it next week, aren't you?
That's right, and I'm really struggling. I chose the topic because I didn't know much about it and wanted to learn more. But now I've read so much about it, in a way there's too much to say. I could talk for much longer than the 20 minutes I've been allocated. Should I assume the other students don't know much and give them a kind of general introduction? Or should I try and make them share my fascination with a particular aspect?
You could do either, but you'll need to have it clear in your own mind.
Then I think I'll give an overview.
Okay.
Should I do this? Should I do that? You need to clear your mind. Okay, so whenever they use uncertain, and they will use this word again somewhere. So whenever they use the word uncertain, should I do this? Should I do that? Whether I should do this or that and all that. Correct answer is B. Right? Got the point? Good. Question number 22. Russ and his tutor agree that now on 1 point they will agree and on 2 points they will disagree. So where they disagree, that will not be your answer. Russ and his tutor agree that his approach in the presentation will be. So underline agree and then underline his approach. What do they mean by his? Russ, exactly. Okay. To concentrate on how nanotechnology is used in one field. Underline concentrate, nanotechnology used one field. Okay, Dubai English. Yeah, you just need to underline the words. Okay. Option B. Follow chronological developments. Underline chronological developments. Whenever they use the word chronological developments. For example, if I say in 1950, one scientist coined the term nanotechnology. In 1958, nanotechnology was actually discovered. In 1965, this is called chronological order. Chronological order means by years. In 2001, this happened. 2005, this happened. So that is chronological development. And option C, range of applications. Like nanotechnology is used in medicine, nanotechnology is used in agriculture, nanotechnology is used in textile. Okay, range of applications. Now we've just underlined concentrate, nanotechnology is used in one field. One field. And if they use the word other fields, many fields, then A will not be the answer. Okay? And chronological development, if they agree on that, it will be the answer. And if they don't agree, then. And one more thing. It is also possible that tutor may suggest two options. The tutor may say, well, you can plan your presentation in chronological development, or there is another way that you can focus. But you are going to see where do they agree. And when they agree, the tutor and the other one say, okay, that's right, exactly, and all that.
Now, one way of approaching this is to work through developments in chronological order. On the other hand, you could talk about the numerous ways that nanotechnology is being applied.
You mean things like thin films on camera displays to make them water repellent and additives to make motorcycle helmets stronger and lighter?
Exactly. Or another way would be to focus on its impact in one particular area, say medicine or space exploration.
That would make it easier to focus. Perhaps I should do that.
I think that would be a good idea.
Right.
Okay, perhaps I should do that. That would make it a good choice. Option C. All right, correct answer is option C. What do you think? Let's listen to it again. Correct answer is A. I tell you why.
Now, one way of approaching this is to work through developments in chronological order.
Okay, one way of approaching this. She's only suggesting. They don't agree on that. One way of approaching this is chronological order.
On the other
And he said, He's just listening. And then she says another way.
hand, you could talk about the numerous ways that nanotechnology is being applied.
Okay, numerous ways nanotechnology is being applied. That is option C. Range of applications of nanotechnology. Numerous ways nanotechnology is applied. And she said another way. Now these are two suggestions. Let's see their agreement.
Mean things like thin films on camera displays to make them water repellent and additives to make motorcycle helmets stronger and lighter.
Okay, now this is only the explanation of point C. Now they come to point A.
Exactly. Or another way would be to focus on its impact in one particular area.
Okay, focus on its impact in one particular area. Focus is concentrate. One particular area is one field. So correct answer is A. That's right. Question number 23. In connection with slides. You know slides, PowerPoint? Okay, in connection with slides, the tutor advises Russ to. Now he's got presentation in PowerPoint. What does tutor say about that? Talk about things that he can find slides to illustrate. So talk about things, find slides to illustrate. For example, if he's talking about something, it should be on the slide also. So he should talk about things which he can find on slides. Option B, look for slides to illustrate the points he makes. So slides to illustrate points. Slides to illustrate point. Illustrate means explain. And option C, omitting slides together. All together. What does it mean? Omit. Omit means completely remove. Means don't use slides. If she says don't use slides at all or remove all the slides, omit all the slides, then it is option C.
How important is it to include slides in the presentation?
They aren't essential by any means. And there's a danger of tailoring what you say to fit whatever slides you can find. While it can be good to include slides, you could end up spending too long looking for suitable ones. You might find it better to leave them out.
I see.
You might find them better to leave them out. Leave them out. Them means slides. You might find it better to leave them out. Leave them out means omit. Leave out. Leave out means chhod dena. Omit means chhod dena. So you might find it better to leave them out. Okay? Please listen again.
How important is it to include slides in the presentation?
They aren't essential by any means.
They aren't essential by any means. First she said they aren't essential, means they are not. For are not we have this contraction. It is called aren't. They aren't essential by any means.
And there's a danger of tailoring what you say to fit whatever slides you can find.
Okay, and there is a danger of tailoring to fit whatever you are saying to the slide.
While it can be good to include slides, you could end up spending too long looking for suitable ones.
Okay, it's good to use slides, but you cannot spend too long looking for suitable ones. Means you cannot spend a lot of time.
You might find it better to leave them out.
I see.
You might find it better to leave them out. So, omit slides. Question number 24. They both agree. Underline both agree. Best way for us to start his presentation. So, best way, start presentation. Both agree. Best way to start presentation. Encourage the audience to talk. For example, say, okay guys, today I'm going to talk to you about nanotechnology. What do you know about nanotechnology? Yes, you. Okay, you, interesting, good point. Yes, what do you say? This is what? Encourage audience to talk. Option B, explain what Russ intends to do. Now, what is that? Today in my presentation, first of all, I will tell you what nanotechnology is. And secondly, I will tell you the latest developments in the field of nanotechnology. So this is what explain what Russ intends to do. Option C, provide an example. He can say, well, once upon a time in a hospital, there was a patient, and then he just gives one example, right? So let's see. What do they say about it? मुंह सीधा रखा कर मेरे सामने, घर जाके जैसा मर्जी मुंह बनाओ, मुझे कोई इतराज़ नहीं, यहाँ पे स्माइल वाला होना चाहिए. चैन कुछ हस्बैंड्स बाहर से सही आएंगे, जैसे ही घर आएंगे की पक्का है, साथ ही जो है ना मुंह इस तरह का, ये घर वाला मुंह इधर नहीं बनाना. अच्छा जी, क्वेश्चन नंबर क्या था? 24. I play the audio.
Another thing I was wondering about was how to start. I know presentations often begin with, first I'm going to talk about this, and then I'll talk about that. But I thought about asking the audience what they know about nanotechnology.
That would be fine if you had an hour or two for the presentation, but you might find that you can't do anything with the answers you get, and it simply eats into the short time that's available.
So maybe I should mention a particular way that nanotechnology is used to focus people's attention.
That sounds sensible.
That sounds sensible. I should focus a particular way how nanotechnology is used. What is it? C, to provide an example. One way nanotechnology is used. So that is example, right? So that is the correct answer. And why A and B are wrong? Because he said presentations usually start like, today I will tell you this and that and all that. Okay? Please listen to this last part.
An hour or two for the presentation, but you might find that you can't do anything with the answers you get, and it's simply...
Okay, so you cannot do anything from the answers you get from the audience. And she said if you have 1 hour presentation, then you can do that.
It eats into the short time that's available.
So maybe I should mention a particular way that nanotechnology is used.
I should mention a particular way nanotechnology is used.
To focus people's attention.
That sounds sensible.
That sounds sensible. What does it mean? They agree. That sounds sensible. Question number 25. What does tutor advise Russ to do next? So underline tutor advise, do next, while preparing for his presentation. Option A, summarize main points he want to make. Underline summarize main points. So if they say write a summary of your presentation, or convert your presentation into one single sentence, that is summarize. Option B, read the notes he's already made. So if he says go through all the notes that you have made, read means go through. Option C, list the topics he wants to cover. So for example, make a list of the topics that you want to cover in your presentation. So what should he do next?
What do you think I should do next? I really have to plan the presentation today and tomorrow.
Well, initially, I think you should ignore all the notes you've made, take a small piece of paper and write a single short sentence that ties together the whole presentation. It can be something as simple as, nanotechnology is already improving our lives. Then start planning the content around that. You can always modify that sentence later if you need to.
Okay.
All right. Write a single sentence that is summarize the main point he wants to make. Okay?
What do you think I should do next? I really have to plan the presentation today and tomorrow.
Well, initially, I think you should ignore all the notes you've made.
Okay, initially you should ignore all the notes you made. Option B, ignore. That's gone.
Take a small piece of paper and write a single short sentence that ties together the whole presentation.
Write a single short sentence that ties together all the presentation. So one sentence, all presentation means summarize the main point.
It can be something as simple as, nanotechnology is already improving our lives. Then start planning the content around that.
Then start planning the content around that single sentence. Okay? Now, let's go on. Questions 26 to 30. What comments does the speaker make about each of the following aspects of Russ's presentation? Comment and aspects of presentation. Aspects are simple, structure, eye contact and all that. So when they give you half minute to read questions 26 to 30, what will you read? Questions or comments? Comments, good choice. Now I tell you how they are going to interpret these comments for you. Option A, lacked a conclusion. Now lacked a conclusion, for that they say you finished without conclusion, or there was no ending, or you finished abruptly. You finished abruptly means achanak, you finished your presentation. Ended abruptly, finished abruptly, lacked conclusion and all that. Option B, useful in the future. For future, they commonly use the word later on. It will help the students later on. It will help the students later on means useful in the future. Option C, not enough. For not enough, they commonly use the word very little. Okay, not enough, very little, insufficient. Option D, sometimes distracting. Now, what is a distraction? If I'm going to do this, it's a distraction. During the class, if someone is clicking the pen, it's a distraction. So they may not use the word distraction, but they will talk about something as a distraction. Okay, for example, say during the presentation, you are always touching your nose, and I was really upset about that. So that's a distraction. Option E, showed originality. Originality means groundbreaking, your own work, right? Option F, covered wide range. Covered wide range means it covered everything, right? And option G, not too technical. Not too technical means simple, right? Simple. So let's start. Question number 26, structure. Now what will you do? You will put this finger on question number 26, and this pencil hand will move through the options. And as you find the answer, you will just write the option number. Question number 26.
Okay, now let's think about actually giving the presentation. You've only given one before, if I remember correctly, about an experiment you'd been involved in.
That's right. It was pretty rubbish.
Let's say it was better in some respects than in others. With regard to the structure, I felt that you ended rather abruptly, without rounding it off. Be careful not to do that in next week's presentation.
Okay.
You finished rather abruptly, without rounding it off. Rounding it off means concluding. Finished abruptly means without conclusion. So what's the answer? Well done. Very good. Correct answer is A. Okay, question number 27, eye contact.
hand, you made very little eye contact with the audience because you were looking down at your notes most of the time. You need to be looking at the audience and only occasionally glancing at your notes.
Now he's saying, class lag rahi hai na. So you made very little eye contact. Not enough. Okay? Your eye contact was very little. C will be the right answer. Whenever they label ABC, never write the word after that. Just write ABC. Okay? Next, body language.
Your body language was a little odd. Every time you showed a slide, you turned your back on the audience so you could look at it. You should have been looking at your laptop. And you kept scratching your head, so I found myself wondering when you were next going to do that, instead of listening to what you were saying.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Option D. Yeah, body language was odd. Like you turned your back to the audience, right? And then you are scratching your head. And I was wondering when you're going to do that next, okay? So D will be the right answer, distracting. So distracting, they use the word turn your back and scratching your head. Question number 29, choice of words.
What did you think of the language? I knew that not everyone was familiar with the subject, so I tried to make it as simple as I could.
Yes, that came across. You used a few words that are specific to the field, but you always explained what they meant, so the audience wouldn't have had any difficulty understanding.
So, choice of words. G, not too technical. You used simple words, and if there was a difficult word, you explained what it means, so that came in handy. Next, handouts.
I must say, the handouts you prepared were well thought out. They were a good summary of your presentation, which people would have been able to refer to later on. So well done on that.
Thank you.
People would be able to refer to later on. Well done on that. That is option B, useful in the future. In the future, later on. And again, I'm telling you, all these tips and techniques that I'm giving you, they will repeat. And after solving 8 to 10 tests like this, you'll become very good, okay? You'll become a hero of IELTS listening. Let's go on. All right. Now we've got section 4. Complete the notes below. Write one word only. Remember one thing. If your section 3 goes badly, don't worry about that. Section 4 will give you another opportunity to come back to the game. Okay, there are 10 more questions here. Sometimes students miss 1 or 2 answers and then they lose their hope and the whole test destroys. If you miss any answer, let it go. Don't try to catch it and then move on to the next one. Now, complete the notes below. One word only. Episodic memory, technical topic. It's all about memory, our memory, how we retain things and all that. So part 4, the topic depends, the level of difficulty depends on the topic as well. For example, now we have episodic memory. If you have learned anything about memory and all that, you'll find it easier. But otherwise, it can be a little confusing. But anyways, let's do. Episodic memory, the ability to recall details, for example, the time and dash of past events. 2 things related to past events. And answer is one word only. One is time. And they will not use the word time. For time, they will say when an incident took place. When means time. Right? And the second thing they mention, that will be your answer. Okay? After time.
Today, we'll be continuing the series of lectures on memory by focusing on what is called episodic memory and what can happen if this is not working properly. Episodic memory refers to the memory of an event or episode. Episodic memories allow us to mentally travel back in time to an event from the past. Episodic memories include various details about these events. For example, when an event happened and other information such as the location.
So, what's the answer? Location. When an incident happened and other information such as location. So, answer is location. Question number 32. Different to semantic memory. Now you will read all the points with episodic memory. For example, episodic memory is different to semantic memory. Let me tell you, if you don't know what episodic memory is, what semantic memory is, don't worry at all. You just have to fill in the gap, right? And they will speak the same word in the audio. So, episodic memory is different to semantic memory. The ability to remember general information about, underline general information about. And now listen carefully. For general information about, they use the word knowledge of. Knowledge of, of. Okay? So whatever they say after knowledge of, that will be your answer.
Episodic memory is distinct from another type of memory called semantic memory. This is the type of factual memory that we have in common with everyone else. That is your general knowledge of the world.
That is your general knowledge of the world. Now notice the point, general information about the world and general knowledge of the world. Okay? Let's go on. Which does not involve recalling dash information. Now it is going to be strange, but for information sometimes they use the word experience. Experience. Okay? So does not involve. Does not involve, for that they can use the word it does not depend, or it isn't dependent. Isn't, does not, have not, anything like that.
To build upon a previous example, remembering where you parked your car is an example of episodic memory. But your understanding of what a car is and how an engine works are examples of semantic memory. Unlike episodic memory, semantic memory isn't dependent on recalling personal experiences.
Okay, isn't dependent on recalling personal experiences. Isn't dependent, does not involve. Now they are synonym. And recalling personal experiences. For experiences, they use the word information. Answer is personal. Very good. Okay, question number 34, forming encoding. Now encoding involved receiving and processing information. Okay. The more dash given to an event. For example, answer is detail. The more detail given to an event. Underline the word more. In listening part 4, for more, they commonly use the word level of. For example, level of details given to an event, more details given to an event. They are synonyms. Okay? Now, whatever they say after level of, it will be your answer.
Episodic memory can be thought of as a process with several different steps of memory processing, encoding, consolidation, and retrieval. The initial step is called encoding. This involves the process of receiving and registering information which is necessary for creating memories of information or events that you experience. The degree to which you can successfully encode information depends on the level of attention you give to an event while it's actually happening.
Okay, so the level of attention you give to an event while it is happening. So correct answer is attention. Okay, let's go on. Question number 35. To remember, underline the word remember. For remember, they can use the word recall, recollection, right? Remind. Maybe, yeah. It is useful to have a strategy for encoding such information. Now, to remember what? What is it that you need to remember? Remember, recall, bring to your mind something. Answer will come after the synonym of remember.
Encoding of episodic memories is also influenced by how you process the event. For example, if you were introduced to someone called Charlie, You might make the connection that your uncle has the same name. Future recollection of Charlie's name is much easier if you have a strategy to help you encode it.
Okay, future recollection of Charlie's name. Now what is the answer? Name. To remember a name, it is useful to have a strategy for encoding such information. For example, I meet someone and he says, my name is Yasin. I say, I have a colleague, his name is Yasin also. I can connect that, right? Yeah. So this is how you can connect the names and you can retain them. Next is consolidation. In consolidation, how memories are strengthened and stored. Most effective. Now, consolidation is most effective when memories can be added to. Another good technique. Underline the word added and write there linked, connected. For added, they use the word added, linked, connected, joined. These are synonyms. So next, whenever you see any of these words, they can replace it with that, right? So consolidation most effective when memories can be added to so memories can be connected, linked or joined to something.
Memory consolidation, the next step in forming an episodic memory, is the process by which memories of encoded information are strengthened, stabilized, and stored to facilitate later retrieval. Consolidation is most effective when the information being stored can be linked to an existing network of information.
Okay, can be stored, linked to an existing network of information. Now what is the answer? Network. Can be added to a network. Okay, question number 37. The dash of retrieval affects the strength of memories. So the dash, for example, the power of retrieval affects the strength of memory. Okay, now for the dash of retrieval affects, let's see what do they use for that.
Consolidation makes it possible for you to store memories for later retrieval indefinitely. Forming strong memories depends on the frequency with which you try to retrieve them. Memories can fade.
Okay. Frequency. It depends on the frequency with which you try to retrieve them. Now, frequency with which you try to retrieve them means frequency of retrieval affects. Okay. For of, the synonym is with which. Okay. Next, retrieval. Memory retrieved after often depends on using a prompt. For example, the dash of an object near to the place where you left your car. Dash of an object. For example, you parked your car near a pillar. So the size of the pillar, the shape of the pillar, or anything like that. For object, they may use the word object, tree, pillar, post, or anything.
The last step in forming episodic memories is called retrieval, which is the conscious recollection of encoded information. Retrieving information from episodic memory depends upon semantic, olfactory, auditory, and visual factors. These help episodic memory retrieval by acting as a prompt. For example,
now answer will come because they've written EG. EG means when they say for example, then answer will come. Okay?
When recalling where you parked your car, you may use the color of a sign close to where you parked.
Color of a sign close to where you parked your car. So sign is object. Color of a sign close to where you park your car. Correct answer is color. Okay, question number 39. Episodic memory impairments. These affect people with wide range of medical conditions. There is no question, but underline the word medical condition so that you know audio is here. Now, when they talk about games, you have to be alert because your answer is related to that. Games which stimulate the dash. You know, we commonly say games stimulate the mind, right? So games which stimulate, some games stimulate your body. Like they have some games which involve physical movement and all that. Games which stimulate the dash have been found to help people with schizophrenia.
There are a wide range of neurological diseases and conditions that can affect episodic memory. These range from Alzheimer's to schizophrenia to autism. An impairment of episodic memory can have a profound effect on individuals' lives. For example, the symptoms of schizophrenia can be reasonably well controlled by medication. However, patients' episodic memory may still be impaired, and so they are often unable to return to university or work.
Until now, there is no answer. Okay, we're going to listen on because we are interested in games. So in part 4, sometimes the audio continues for 1 or 2 minutes and then the answer comes.
Recent studies have shown that computer-assisted games designed to keep the brain active can help improve their episodic memory.
Okay, computer-assisted games designed to keep the brain active. Designed to keep the brain active means stimulate brain. Answer is brain. Okay, stimulate and keep the brain active. Keep active means stimulate. See, a lot of part came and answer was in the last sentence. Last question number 40. Children with autism may have difficulty from forming episodic memories, possibly because their concept of their, what do they mean by their? Children. Now underline the word concept of and instead of that write sense of. Sense of, concept of, idea of, feeling of, something like that. So answer will come after the synonym of sense of, concept of and all that.
Episodic memories can help people connect with others. For instance, by sharing intimate details about their past. Something individuals with autism often have problems with. This may be caused by an absence of a sense of self. This is
absence of a sense of self. This self is like you say myself. S-E-L-F. Yes, self. You will write self, not selfie. So correct answer for question number 40 is self.